Today I'm going to be looking for the grave of Ryan Davies. He was a very popular actor, singer and composer in the 1970s. And he was in a film with Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor and Peter O'Toole in 1972. I'm on this rather splendid hillside a couple of miles away from the town of Fethel in Wales. You can actually see one of Wales's most famous castles here, Carrick Kennan Castle. Look at that, absolutely amazing. Ryan Davies died suddenly in April 1977 at quite a young age, and he's buried here in the cemetery by Fethel Chapel. Ryan Davies was particularly well known for his comedic double act with Ronnie Williams. The Ryan and Ronnie show was originally made in the Welsh language, but the BBC commissioned 3 seasons in English, and it was broadcast throughout the UK. As well as his double act with Ronnie Williams, he had a solo career at the same time. He appeared in many pantomimes and was in a very popular Welsh language sitcom, Fo a Fe. He's a bit of a legend in Wales. He was a very funny man. He could make an audience laugh just by coming on stage and smiling. People absolutely loved him, and it was a massive shock to Wales when he died at the age of 40. He was so well known and popular. He wasn't known as Ryan Davies, he was always known just by his first name. In 1972 he appeared in the Richard Burton film Under Milk Wood, which was filmed here in Wales. The film was based on a play by Dylan Thomas, and this was Ryan Davies's only film appearance. Got the ruins of a very old house here. Our roof's gonna fly off one day. The actual chapel is apparently the oldest building in the area that is still in use. Gonna have a look around. I'm curious to see how old some of these graves are. David Daniels died at the age of 69, August 17th, 1887. To think it's in the middle of nowhere, it's actually quite a large cemetery, and it's still being used for burials. But apparently the chapel itself, it might be used for funeral services, but otherwise it's only used for a Christmas service at 6 a.m. every Christmas morning. It's said that the road leading up to the chapel is haunted, and people have claimed to have seen a ghostly funeral procession coming up towards the chapel, and a man waving a bowler hat. It's also being claimed that you can hear the sound of an organ being played in the chapel at night, even though the chapel doesn't have an organ. Just wanted to have a look at this house from the other side. Sadly, the door has been sealed with concrete. Oh, there's actually an information board here. Oh wow, look at that. Very old picture. or photograph. I guess the people in the photograph would now be buried in the cemetery. It says that the chapel was built in 1773, so pretty old. Okay, I'll have a look around the graveyard a little bit, then we'll go and find the grave of Ryan Davies. Oh, there's a shovel here for some reason. In memory of Griffith. Trying to see the date of death, 1871. I'm curious to see if there's any gravestones from the late 1700s here. Cofam in memory of William Lewis, died October 30th, 1872 at the age of 85. Also Anne, his wife, who died December 6th, 1895 at the age of 22. That can't be right. Blimey, I need to get a night test, I think. It's 82, not 22. Your graves from the early 19th century here, but there's also some recent graves in between them. I won't film those though. Just a view of the chapel from the other side. As you can see, there would have been an old fireplace inside. Now, because Ryan Davies died at a fairly young age, he had quite a short career, only 11 years. But he was so hard-working, he kind of crammed a 30-year career into that time. He had an amazing singing voice. Because of copyright, I usually can't play people's songs, but I think there is one song of his that I should be able to play without any copyright issues. So I'll try and play that at the end of the video. In loving memory of Berna, beloved daughter of W.G. and M.A. Williams, died May 25th, 1925 at the age of 23. Also their dear son Sidney Lewis died August 3rd, 1929. Oh my god, age 20. Also their dear son William Llewellyn died March 9th, 1943 at the age of 30. So they lost 3 children. That's very sad. Now, Ryan Davies' career was a bit before my time, but even now you still hear his name often mentioned on television, particularly on Welsh language television. Welsh television played repeats of his sitcom Fo a Fe for many decades after his death. Actually, kind of controversially, actually after the 80s, as one of his co-stars, Clive Roberts, was convicted of murdering his girlfriend in the late 80s. I've never seen the grave of Ryan Davies before, but I believe he's supposed to be buried in this general area. I just hope I can find him. I've located the grave. Ryan Davies died on April 22nd, 1977 in Buffalo, New York at the age of 40. He had travelled to Buffalo for a family holiday and to meet some friends there. And during a barbecue at a friend's house, he suffered a fatal asthma attack. And here's the grave. in memory of Ryan, loving husband of Irene and tender father to Bethan and Darwin, who died April 22nd, 1977 in New York at the age of 40. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Do, Caria, do. God is love.